Well, welcome back to day 3 of Adventure on Discovery Island. I'm Pastor Sue hosting with you this week, and I hope you are learning lots and having a great time. Are you enjoying our awesome music? Honestly, I cannot even pick a favorite of our songs this year. Well, yesterday we had a really cool Bible story, all about God speaking to Moses through a bush that was on fire, but it wasn't burning. Now, if you happen to miss yesterday's episode, you can actually go back and watch it to see what I'm talking about. Now, today, we are going to learn about some friends who just loved their friend who was sick so much they were willing to do anything to help him see Jesus and get healed. So, I hope you're ready. Let's get our adventuring shoes on and our arms on and our ears open and our eyes open, and let's go discover on Adventure Island.
Never walked this road before,
but I am confident, never been more sure.
We are discovering who we're made to be as we discover who you are. Discovery on Adventure Island. Discovery on Adventure Island. Knowing God will always guide us. The Spirit leads will go. Trusting Jesus we will follow. Discovery on Adventure Island. We will seek until we find the way, the truth and the light. On a quest for the light. We go with hope, we go with trust. Joy in our hearts, we lift you up. We go with love, we go with faith. 'Cause we are seeking Jesus' face. We go with hope, we go with trust. Joy in our hearts, we lift you up. We go with love, we go with faith. 'Cause we are seeking Jesus' face. Discovery on Adventure Island. Discovery on Adventure Island. Knowing God will always guide us. The Spirit leads will go. Trusting Jesus we will follow. Discovery on Adventure Island. We will seek until we find the way, the truth and the light. On the quest for the light. Discovery on Adventure Island.
Hello, explorers! Glad you could all make it back for another day of adventure. I'm super excited about finding another Infinity Lantern today. So far, we have the Infinity Lantern of Love and the Infinity Lantern of Trust. Now, where's our little winged friend? What was his name again?
It's Beacon. It's pretty easy to remember. You just think of the letter B and a can.
Beacon. That doesn't sound quite right.
Yes, I am quite sure. It's Beacon. I'm a puffin.
Muffin? Now that sounds more familiar.
No, not a muffin. That's a delicious breakfast food. I'm a puffin, a special type of bird. We can fly up to 55 miles per hour and are great swimmers, diving down to almost 200 feet below water in search of our favorite fish. Does that sound familiar?
No.
We are sometimes called the clowns of the sea, or sea parrots.
Sea pirates? Now that makes sense. I can definitely see the resemblance. There used to be a lot of sea pirates around these parts. I think today I'll call you Captain Beacon.
Close enough.
I myself have never had a run-in with a pirate, but I used to work with someone at the Grand Turk Lighthouse in the Caribbean who used to be a pirate. We called him Half-Beard since he could only grow a beard on the left side of his face. He claimed it was from a close call with a reef shark. Have you ever seen a shark up close?
I can't say that I have. Have you read more of Professor Luminari's journal?
I have. This third riddle is very mysterious, and I haven't been able to figure it out yet. Listen to this. how does the lantern of faith stay lit? The answer should not confuse you one bit. Find 4 friends who dug a hole in the ceiling, all hoping to bring a friend to healing.
A lantern of faith? Okay, but the rest is mysterious. A hole in the ceiling? Friend to healing?
Perhaps we should take a moment and think about this.
The stone was rolled away, all that's left an empty grave. Jesus, you are alive. Jesus, you are alive. Sin forgiven, I am free, standing in your victory. Jesus, you are alive. Jesus, you are alive. Death could not hold you, the veil tore before you. Your love has made a way, your love has made a way. Come on, everybody singing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. Come on, everybody's dancing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. No greater love than this, gave your life so I could live. Jesus, you are alive. Jesus, you are alive. Forever I will be in your eternal family, Christ. Jesus, you are alive. Jesus, you are alive. Death could not hold you, the veil tore before you. Your love has made a way, your love has made a way. Come on, everybody singing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. Come on, everybody's dancing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. Death could not hold you, the veil tore before you. Your love has made a way. Your love has made a way. Your love has made a way. Come on, everybody singing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. Come on, everybody's dancing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. Come on, everybody singing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore. Come on, everybody's dancing, everybody celebrate you, reign forevermore.
I'm stumped. Captain Beacon, what do you think we should do?
Well, the only book in the reference book that I know about which mentions a hole in the roof comes from the book of Luke, chapter 5. Let's try that.
The book of Luke tells us an amazing story about Jesus. One day, Jesus was teaching and healing others. He really knew how to love others and how to draw a crowd. On this particular day, there were so many people in the house that it was like a great big party. And what does every good party need? Party crashers. You see, there were 4 men who had a friend that couldn't walk. They really loved this friend and wanted him to be able to walk again. These 4 men heard that Jesus was nearby, and they had the faith that Jesus had the power to heal. The only problem was how to get their friend to Jesus. Instead of using a wheelchair or motorized scooter, these 4 men carried their friend around on his cot. I said a cot, not a cat. You know, like a bed. Eventually, they arrived at the house where Jesus was teaching. There they realized that the house was very crowded. It was so crowded, in fact, that they couldn't get close to Jesus or even get into the house. What do most people do when a room is too crowded and there's no room for anyone else? Usually, you might just go home, right? But not these guys. They were determined to get their friend to Jesus. Since they couldn't get in on the ground level, they decided to look up. And then
climb up on the roof of the house. That might seem strange to us, but many of the houses in those days had a flat roof where you could walk around. Once they got their friend to the roof, they realized there was no chimney to come down. These friends loved their friend who couldn't walk too much to give up now, so the men put their collective heads together and came up with a brilliant plan. Most people at parties talk about raising the roof or bringing the house down. Well, these guys did both. They decided to make a hole in the roof right over Jesus' head. When the hole was large enough, the four men lowered their friend down on the cot and laid him right in front of Jesus. Now, it's really hard not to notice someone making a hole in your roof and a person coming down from that hole right in front of you. So, when the man was finally on the floor, Jesus looked at him and then at his friends. They went through a lot of trouble because they loved him and had faith that Jesus could heal him. But instead of healing the man right away, Jesus told the man that his sins were forgiven. This angered the religious people watching. They didn't believe that Jesus had the power and authority to forgive sins. Boy, were they wrong. Jesus told them, "Anyone can say your sins are forgiven, but I will also show you that God sent me. I love this man and I will heal him too." He looked at the man and told him to get up, pick up his cot, and go home. And that's just what the man did. Everyone looked around at each other, amazed. They had just witnessed something incredible that could only have come from God. And that's how it happened in the Bible.
That sure sounded like the right story. It had 4 friends, a hole in the ceiling, and a friend who needed healing.
Sounds correct to me. Those men sure showed a lot of faith in Jesus to believe he would heal their friend. But does that tell us where the lantern of faith might be?
Let's see. So the story was found in the book of Luke. So we'll use the letter L, and it was found in chapter 5. So the lantern of faith should be right here in L5.
Great job. We make a pretty great team.
And a good team is important.
I agree. And these explorers out here have been great teammates on the island too. I bet they even remember our signal verse. Let's all say it together. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you. That's found in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Great job, explorers. Now we need to arise, let our light shine, and learn a Pathfinder saying to help us find the lantern of faith.
Right you are. Okay, explorers, remember, the best way to get around Adventure Island is by using a path. So, today's Pathfinder saying would be, arise, shine with faith. Okay, explorers, now say it with me. Arise, shine with faith. Now let's do it again, but that sets emotions. When we say rise, everybody stand up. When we say shine, everybody stretch your arms over your head and bring them down to your sides. When we say faith, everybody put your hands together like you're praying.
Now we have everything in order. Explorers, follow your island guides as we search for the lantern of faith.
Have you ever wanted something so bad that you were willing to do anything and go anywhere just to get it? I think we've all been in that place at least once in our lives. Now, in today's Bible story, we see how some men loved their crippled friends so much, they were willing to go to really big extremes to get into Jesus. Now, so many people had crammed into that house just to hear Jesus. So many people that not one more person could get in. There was no social distancing on that day. It seemed impossible for the men carrying the bed with their crippled friend to get him close enough to see Jesus. But their faith was strong, so they decided they were going to do whatever it took. Now, can you imagine what the people in the house were thinking as they looked up and saw a hole being cut out of the roof, and then saw a man being lowered down with rope on a bed, landing right in front of Jesus? But of course, it didn't surprise Jesus. He already knew the man. He already knew that he was crippled. He also knew that the man needed for his sins to be forgiven. Well, the crippled man also had faith in Jesus. He accepted the gift of forgiveness. And when Jesus told him to get up, pick up the bed he had been laying on, and go home? He obeyed. What a miracle the people in that house saw right before their eyes. And I'm sure their faith got much larger as they saw everything unfold before them. Guys and girls, anybody watching today, when there are big obstacles in front of us, we may have a hard time believing that God can come through for us. But if we have even just a little bit of faith, we'll be rewarded. So go ahead, trust God for the things you need, and have a little faith that He will.
Ahoy, mateys! Which of ye be ready to play the toughest game found anywhere on the seven seas? I'm talking about ye old sea shell shuffle. I'm going to show some seashells from me personal collection. One of these shells has a pearl inside. The shells will get shuffled up like a ship in a hurricane, but you'll be having to keep your eye on the shell with the pearl. If ye be wearing an eye patch like me, you'll have to put your good eye to work. Think ye have what it takes? If so, let me hear you shout a hearty, "Aye, aye, Captain!" Alrighty then, look alive. Here we go. Did ye keep a sharp lookout? If so, shout out 1, 2, or 3 if ye knows where the pearl be. Well done, but that was the easy one. If you missed that, I would have made ye walk the plank. Ha 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 ha! Let's try another. All right, mateys. Still think ye know where the pearl is? Oh, impressive. Now what happens if we add in a fourth shell? Do ye know where the pearl be? Or did the shells get the best of ye? Yo ho ho! Looks like ye be getting your sea legs. Well done. Let's try another. Heave ho, me hearties! Shout it out! 1, 2, 3, or 4, if ye have eyes on the pearl. Well done! I've been in need of a new lookout. Ye might just be the sailor for the job. Now, can you keep your wits about you with 5 shells? Blow me down! I'm as lost as a landlubber in a hurricane with no map! Shout it out if ye know where the pearl be! Fine work, mates. Fine work. Now it be time for the final challenge. Shiver me timbers! That pearl is as lost to me as a cannonball in the ocean. Shout it out if ye knows where it be at. There she blows! Ye found the pearl! I tip my hat to you fine sailors. Well done, mateys. Well done.
Hello Pathfinders, welcome to our daily discovery, and again it's Miss Hannah, your discovery leader here on Adventure Island. And as I always tell you, we are here to test some fun experiments that focuses on our daily topic. So now, let's get started. I have here a small plate, not for eating, but for drawing for our experiment. And I have a permanent marker, and what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to draw some dots on the paper plate. Now, I have here 4 dots on the paper plate. Do you think I can erase this if I rub it? Well, let's see. Oh, it's just smudging a bit, but obviously I can't erase it. But what do you think will happen if I have here this ceramic dish and I take a permanent a dry erase marker and draw some dots in? Well, it's a dry erase marker, so I guess it will erase. But what do you think will happen if I take my water here and pour it on the plate? So let's find out. Okay, I'm going to draw my dots now. So let's hope this works. And then with the water I have here, just gonna wait for it to dry a bit, and then we're gonna pour the water slowly. Some of them are floating. And you can see our dots are floating. And that's because dry erase markers are way different than permanent markers. They are made so that the ink won't stick permanently on some surfaces like our ceramic dish. The ink has another interesting property though. It's insoluble, meaning it can't be dissolved with water. That's what makes our dots float on the water. Well, Pathfinders, wasn't that surprising? And just like what happened in our Bible story today. There were some friends who worked together to lower a man through the roof where Jesus was. Well, what happened next was the surprising part. First, Jesus forgave the man from his sins, and then Jesus healed the man until the man was able to walk again. Well, we shine God's light of faith when we share God's surprising acts with others. And that is our third discovery. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time. Remember, arise, shine with faith.
Another day we will praise you for all you've done, for sending us your Son to light up the world. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Oh, oh, we will go where you send us. We will follow, come what may. Jesus, you're the way to light up the world. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Everybody jump now. Everybody get down. Boys and girls, Jesus' love is lighting up the world. Everybody jump now. Everybody get down. Boys and girls, Jesus' love is lighting up the world. Light up the world. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Arise, shine, for your light has come.
Welcome back, explorers. I'm super excited about our discovery today. Did you learn more about this lantern of faith?
Excellent! We discovered the third infinity lantern. Our pathway is starting to be lit again. Many times the Bible refers to Jesus as the light of the world. I like to think of him as the ultimate lighthouse shining in the world. We are called to be lights as well and point others to Jesus.
Just like these lanterns are lighting the path to the lighthouse. I'm starting to get it now. The only thing I don't understand is why Professor Luminari scattered them across the island in the first place.
Your guess is as good as mine. Like I said, he was a strange bird.
Seems to be a lot of those on this island.
Actually, Professor Luminari wanted people to realize how important we are as lights in the world, pointing others to Jesus. And the way we shine our lights
Is by learning about these truths in the Bible. I'm understanding it now. When we shine God's light of love and trust, we point others towards Jesus.
And the same is true with today's lantern. When we shine with the light of faith, we don't just show others that we have faith, but we show others who we have faith in. And that is the most important thing.
I'm starting to think that Professor Luminari is more of a genius than I originally thought.
He was the one who taught me the Pathfinder phrase, arise and shine. How about we say this today? Arise, shine with faith. Okay, now let's add those motions. Arise, shine with faith. What about the signal verse? Do you remember it?
I have a memory like a steel trap. I can recite the coordinates of my first 3 lighthouse assignments. Would you like to hear them? I have a memory like a steel trap. I could recite the coordinates of my first 3 lighthouse assignments. Would you like to hear them?
Not right now. Do you remember my name?
I would definitely remember that if you wouldn't change it all the time. But how about that signal verse again? I remember that it was found in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Explorers, say it with me. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you.
Not bad at all. We will need to work on your memorization of my name, though.
Aye, aye, Captain Beacon. Let's pray and get these explorers home from their adventures today. Lord, thank you that you're the light of the world. Thank you that you have the power to save and to heal. Help us to put our faith in you in every situation. Thank you that you love us deeply. Help us let our light of faith shine. Amen.
Well, what a great time we've had again today. I love today's lesson about all of these men who loved their crippled friends so much they were willing and they had faith to go to big extremes to get him to see Jesus. And what I love even more is that Jesus already knew all about him and wanted to help him as well. And what about that song, Bustin' Through the Roof? Bustin' through the roof just to get to Jesus. Bustin' through the roof in faith. Bustin' through... Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Okay, so have a good rest of the day. Get your friends together tomorrow and don't forget to arise and shine with faith.